Hello, gente linda. Gente linda means beautiful people in Spanish. I am Nelly Z. My goal for my YouTube channel is to study the topics for the licensed clinical social worker exam together and share this material with someone who may need it. First, I would like to share a quote to continue to be inspired and motivated to carry on with this journey. Secondly, we will continue learning about Sigmund Freud theory and learn about him. I will link these articles so you can review them if you would like at your convenience. Finally, thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. If you would like to receive a notification when I upload a video, please subscribe and don't forget to like this video so we can all maximize the gift of the technology of this time. Adios, mi gente linda, and many blessings. And here is the quote. Mr. John Wood said, "The 8 laws of learning are explanation, demonstration, imitation, repetition, 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 repetition." So don't be afraid to continue, repeat, or reread the material. As we reread, we learn. As Mr. Wooden is telling us, part of the learning process is repeat and repeat and repeat. You may are wondering why I'm continue reviewing Mr. Freud's theory, because as you can see, the 8 laws of learning are explanation, demonstration, imitation, repetition, 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 repetition. So now I like to go to I'm going to go to the Google. Let's go to Google. I will go to Google. Observe. We're gonna go to Google and I'm going to share the first link that we studied yesterday. And I hope that you are enjoying these videos and we are learning together. So we are here. And last night we reviewed the theory of psychosexual development, and I was going to read about the stages. Let's see. You can see actually there are some videos about Mr. Freud. So it just give us a glossary, sort of the glossary. So the anal stage is the stage of development when children are learning to control impulses, coincides with the toddlerhood and toileting. Defense mechanism is a psychology strategies that are unconsciously used to protect a person from anxiety arising from unacceptable thought of feelings. Ego is the part of the self that helps balance the id, and superego by satisfying its desires in a rational way. The genital stage is the final stage of psychosexual development when individuals develop sexual interest and begin in adolescence and last through the adulthood. I didn't read the ego. So the part of the self that helps balance the id and superego by satisfying its desire in the rational way. The id is the part of the self that biologically driven, includes our instincts and drives and wants immediate gratification. Latency stages, the fourth stage of psychosexual development, spanning middle childhood, during which sexual development and sexual impulses are dormant. Neurosis, a tendency to experience negative emotions. Oral stage, the first stage of psychosexual development, when infant needs are met primarily through oral gratification. Phallic stage, the third stage of psychosexual development, spanning the ages 3 to 6 years, when the young child's libido desire center upon their genital has the erogenous zone. Psychodynamic perspective is a perspective that behaviors is motivated by inner forces, memories, and conflicts that are generally beyond people's awareness and control. Psychosexual stages are Freud's oral, anal, phallic, latency, and general stage. Superego, the part of self that acts as our conscience telling us how we should behave. This is a nice summary, actually, we can see about Mr. Freud's theory. And then, did you have an idea of improving this context? That's basically almost the end about this this article. Let's see. Let's do question. In the context of Freud's theory, protective efforts that keep unacceptable thought, instincts, and feelings out of conscious awareness, and thus serve to defend the egos against anxiety as referred to as, which are, what do you think are defense mechanism, reality principle, moral principle, neurosis? I haven't done this question, but I think are defense mechanism. Check answer. Correct. Defense mechanisms are unconscious protective behaviors that aim to reduce anxiety. Okay, and now I'd like to see the other article that I'd like to share with you. I think is also a very good article. And this is from another very good website that is called Very Well Mind. An overview of Sigmund Freud's theory. And in simple terms, Sigmund Freud's theory suggests that human behavior is influenced by unconscious memory, thoughts, and urges. This theory also proposed that the psyche comprises three aspects: the id, ego, and superego. The id is entirely unconscious, while the ego operates in the conscious mind. The superego operates both. Unconsciously and consciously. Psychology students spend a fair amount of time learning about Freud's theory. Even those outside the psychology field often has some awareness of Freudian psychoanalysis, the school of thought created by Sigmund Freud. Knowing more about Freudian psychology, along with the key concepts in psychoanalysis, like the unconscious fixation defense mechanism and dream symbol, can help you understand the influence of Freud's theory had a contemporary psychologist. And here is a video that you can see it by your own. And here is again the Freud theory of talk therapy. So now we know that when people talk about the talk therapy, we know that they are also, it's called the Freud theory. One of Freud's greatest contributions to psychology was talk therapy. The notion that simply talking about problems can help alleviate them. It was through his association with his close friend and colleague, Joseph Breuer, that Freud became aware of a woman known in the case of history as Anna O. We know about her. The young woman's real name was Bertha Pfaffenheim. She became a patient of Breuer's after suffering a bout of what was then known as hysteria. Symptoms include blurred vision, hallucination, and partial paralysis. Breuer observed that discussing her experience provides some relief from her symptoms. It was Pfaffenheim herself who began referring to the dream as the talking cube. While Anna O is often described as one of Freud's patients, the two never actually met. Freud often discussed her case with Breuer. However, the two collaborated on 1895 book based on her treatment titled Studies in Hysteria. Freud concluded that her hysteria was the result of childhood sexual abuse, and view that ended up leading to rift in Freud's and Breuer's professional and personal relationship. Anna O may not have actually been Freud's patient, but her case informed much of Freud's work and later theory of therapy and psychoanalysis. Freud's theory of personality, that's why some authors put it under theory of personality. According to Freud's theory, there are few different factors that affect personality. They include catesis and anticatesis, along with life and death instincts. Catesis, anticatesis. According to Freud's psychoanalytic theory, all psychic energy is generated by libido. Freud suggested that our mental states were influenced by two competitive forces, catesis and anticatesis. Catesis was described as an investment of mental energy in a person, idea, or object. Anticatesis involves the ego blocking the socially unacceptable needs of the id, repressing urges and desires in one common form of anticatesis, but this involves a significant investment of energy. If you are hungry, for example, you might create a mental image of delicious meal that you have been craving. In other cases, the ego might harness some energy from the id, the primitive mind, to seek out activities related to the desire in order to disperse excess energy from the id. Sticking with the same example, if you can actually seek out food to appease your hunger, you might instead thumb through a cookbook and browse through your favorite recipe blog. According to Freud's theory, there is only so much libidinal energy available. When a lot of energy is devoted to suppressing urges via anticatesis, there is less energy for other processes. Life instinct and death instinct. Freud also believed that much of human behavior was motivated by two driving instincts, life instincts and death instincts. Life instincts, eros, are those that related to basic need for survival. reproduction, and pleasure. They include such a thing as the need for food, shelter, love, and sex. Death instincts, thanatos, are the result of unconscious wish for death, which Freud believed all humans have. Self-destructive behavior was one expression of the death drive, according to Freud. However, he believed that these death instincts were largely tempered by life instincts. Freud's theory of the psyche. In Freud theory, the human mind is structured into two main parts, the conscious and unconscious mind. The conscious mind includes all the things that we are aware or can easily bring into awareness. The unconscious mind, on the other hand, includes all the things outside of awareness. All of the wishes, desires, hopes, urgent, and memories that we are aware of yet continue to influence behavior. Freudian psychology compares the mind to an iceberg. The tip of the iceberg that is actually visible above the water represents just a tiny portion of the mind, while the huge expanse of a ice hidden underneath the water represents the much larger unconscious. There is some question as to whether the iceberg metaphor came from Freud himself or one of his biographers. Some research indicate that there was no mention of an iceberg in Freud's writings. In addition to these two main components of the mind, Freud theory also divides personality into three major components: the id, the ego, and superego. The id is the most primitive part of the personality that is the source of all our most basic urges. The id is entirely unconscious and serves as the source of all libidinal energy. The ego is the component of personality that deals with the reality and helps ensure that the demands of the id are satisfied in a way that are realistic, safe, and socially acceptable. The superego is the part of the personality that holds all the internalized moral standards that we acquire from our parents, family, and society at large. Freud's theory of psychosexual development. Here it goes again. Our theory of psychosexual development. Freudian theory suggests that as children develop, they progress through a series of psychosexual stages. At each stage, the libido's pleasure-seeking energy is focused on a different part of the body. The 5 stages of psychosexual development are the oral stage, the libidinal energy are focused on the mouth, the anal stage, the libidinal energy are focused on the anus, the phallic stage, the libidinal energy are focused on the penis or clitoris. The latent stage, a period of calm in which little libidinal interest is present. The genital stage, the libidinal energy are focused on the genitals. The successful completion of each stage leads to a healthy personality as an adult. If, however, a conflict remains unresolved at any particular stage, the individual might remain fixated or stuck at the particular point of development. Fixation can involve an overdependence or obsession with something related to that phase of development. For example, a person with oral fixation is believed to be stuck at the oral stage of development. Signs of the oral fixation may include excessive reliance on oral behavior, such as smoking, biting fingernails, or eating. Freud's theory of dream analysis. The unconscious mind plays a critical role in all Freud's theory, and he considers dream to be one of the key ways to take a peek into what lies outside our conscious awareness. He dubbed dreams the royal road to the unconscious, and believed that by examining dreams, he could see not only how the unconscious mind works, but also what it's trying to hide from conscious awareness. Freud believed that the content of dream could be broken down into 2 different types. The manifest content of a dream includes all actual content of the dream, The events, images so contained within the dream, the manifest content is essential what the dreaming remember upon waking. The latent content, on the other hand, is all hidden and symbolic meaning with the dream. Freud believed that dreams were essentially a form of wish fulfillment by taking unconscious thoughts, feelings, and desire and transforming them into less threatening forms. People are able to reduce the ego's inside. Freud often utilized the analysis of dream as a starting point and his free association technique when working with clients, and he would focus on particular dream symbol, then use free association to see what others saw and imagined immediately came to the client's mind. I decided to read about Freud's dream theory because who knows? I mean, this test is so tricky that we may get something about Freud's theory of dream analysis. But anyway, now you can see that we'll talk about Freud's theory defense mechanism, but because I want to follow the outline, I don't want to read about the other concepts. I hope this is useful. Hopefully, you can share something or comment in the video and let me know. I have a Facebook page now I created. The name of the Facebook page is Learning Together for LCSW exam. And now that we are so far with about 5 videos, I have also about 100 views. So it's fun. It's fun to see how the YouTube process developed too. In the same time, I'm learning and relearning. And I really hope from the bottom of my heart that these videos are going to be helpful for someone. Okay, mi gente linda. See you next time. Thank you so much. I didn't record.